Welcome back to my channel. If you work with PVC pipe, whether you're a professional plumber, a DIYer, or a person who makes things like this out of PVC pipe, or you're an artist, you make different types of shapes and that, I've got a tool for you that I think you're going to fall in love with. So stick with us, and I think you're going to enjoy this tool. The tool I'm talking about is one of DEWALT's line of their Impact Connect tools, and this one is the PVC and PEX Cutter. It comes in this box. It was the tool only. You have to have an impact driver in order to use this tool, but it doesn't have to be a DEWALT one. It can be maybe a Makita, it can be a Milwaukee. As long as it's an impact, you can go ahead and use this tool. So let me show you how to set it up real quick and how to use it. So this tool is designed to attach to your existing impact driver. The kit right here comes with the just the tool only. It also comes with this mounting plate, and I'll show you how to go ahead and mount it to a impact driver. And it doesn't matter whether it's a DEWALT, it doesn't matter if it's a Milwaukee, Makita, whatever you have, Rigid, Ryobi. But let me show you how to hook it up to it. Let me show you how it works. And we're going to go over whether this will be a tool for you, whether it's not a tool for you, and exactly how to use it. Because it can make a huge difference on whether this tool is going to work for you or not. So first of all, putting on the base, let's take our battery off. The base has a screw here so that it can adjust back and forth. And all you do is, there's indentations on each side of this. They will go on to the side here, just like this. Take it, put them inside there, hold it together, and then tighten it up. It's pretty easy to put on. What I've got is I have several impact wrenches or impact drivers, and I will go ahead and just keep them hooked up like this all the time, permanent. Okay, so all you do is you just take your impact driver, take the tool, push it inside here. Make sure that these screws are loosened up. That'll give you a little movement to put in there. Bring it around. Pull up this little lever right here. And it fits right inside there. Snap it in there. Go ahead and tighten this screw. Tighten this screw. You can do it without any special tools. Make sure this is tight. Put your battery in. And you're ready to go. Now the nice thing I like about this is that you can work good in tight places, whether you're cutting PVC pipe by hand or whether you're actually on a job site itself and you're up in areas and you have to use this for cutting. So let's go over the pros about this. What's good about this tool and a little bit on what they say it can cut. Now I know on the box here it says it cuts 6 times faster than manual cutting. Well, I don't know a lot of people that manually cut PVC pipe unless it's just a DIY or you forgot your saws. I normally would use, before I would use my reciprocating saw. I used a metal blade because it was fine tooth and it wouldn't make the edges so jaggedy and so much burrs on them. But the reason I started to use this one is because one thing is the job I had was a big plumbing job. It had a lot of PVC pipe to cut. Plus, the edges are so jaggedy, and I wanted something to cut a little bit cleaner and faster. So it does have the ability to cut up to 2 inches in diameter for PVC piping. Up to schedule 80 you can use. Now it says it's for all different types of plastic pipes, but we're going to kind of go over that because there are some plastic pipes I do not recommend you cutting with this, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now let's talk about some of the cons. Every tool has its downside, including this one. So I want to talk about if you don't use this tool correctly, you're not going to like it. If you use it correctly, you will like it. One thing is, because it's on an impact driver, it is loud. So let me kind of show you a little bit demo of how fast it is. So you can see, it does cut fast. It cuts nice and clean. There's no burred edges on it. You can see what kind of clean cut. Now, once it cuts, you can see it here, it does not retract. So what you have to do, you have to turn your impact driver in reverse to bring it back again. Here's one of the complaints that a lot of the people had about it, and a lot of reviews I read and people I talked to, they didn't like it because they said it cut crooked. And yeah, you're right. If you put it in here, this is an 1.5 inch pipe. Well, you can see the crooked cut it does. The reason it does that is because you're not holding it square inside there. So what I did to counteract that, on the inside of here, you can see these lines I drew inside here. All I did, I took my square, show you here. I just took my square and I lined it up on here, and I just drew lines with a Sharpie. So I kept drawing some lines in there. That way, when I'm putting a piece of pipe in there, they have this area here that's indented to help you keep it in there, but it doesn't keep it straight. So when you're putting in your pipe, you definitely don't want it to be crooked like that. You want to make sure it lines up straight. And once you do that, then you're going to get a nice clean cut. So let me show you. Back it up. Make sure it goes inside of this groove right here. And if you can see that, if you hold it straight. Now you see the difference? Let me show you when you cut it then. So the difference is that it makes a nice, straight, clean cut. If you put the lines on there and you make sure you hold it at a 90-degree angle and not sideways, you won't have a problem with it. You won't have any complaints about it. And that was the main thing that I saw that people were not happy about. That it did not cut straight. And you can see this pipe, I mean, it cuts it really fast. So put it in reverse, bring it back, and I put it in that groove. I get it started slowly, and as soon as I get impact, as soon as the blade starts to hit there, I make sure that it's not crooked. Make sure it's straight. And that's it, straight cut. So another thing about, another con about this tool, DEWALT doesn't have the best customer service. I've never had to deal a whole lot with them. I've talked to a lot of people who've had to deal with them. They don't get calls back. It takes weeks or months before they get tools repaired and taken back, and they're not cheap. DEWALT tools are expensive. They're supposed to be pretty much a little bit higher than the DIYer professional type tools, but they do have a lot of room for improvement, I think. Also, another thing about this is that do not use this on the thin-walled plastic pipe, like the pipe you would use, say, a P-trap in a plumbing, or the downspout for 1.5 1.25 inch kitchen or bathroom pipe. I've tried that, and this thing will just shatter it. It'll start cutting it in there, and it's so thin it just starts to squeeze it and just shatters the pipe. So you don't want to use it on the thin walled. You definitely want to use on thick walled pipe. Another con about this is it's big and heavy. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's a lot of tool. It's not like a small tool that you can keep in your pocket, but then again, you either carry around this and use it to cut PVC pipe, or you can use this. And I prefer this because it's pretty much, although I use this with one hand, if I'm going to be cutting pipe the same way, I find that I get much faster, much straighter, And like these cuts here, if you can see them, that was cut. There's no burrs or anything on that. It's a nice cut. So this is what I would normally use, is my reciprocating saw. I'll show you the difference in the cuts. This one, obviously, now I didn't do a straight cut on that one, but I mean, you know how it is. You do that, you've got these burrs all over it. It needs to be cleaned off as compared to this one that was cut. Big difference. Plus you don't have this mess all over the place like that. Nothing like getting that over a customer's house. So who do I think should buy this tool? I think if you're a professional plumber, I would definitely have it in my tool kit or my toolbox. Like I said, it's faster, it's cleaner, it makes quick cuts. I can reach into areas that are, you know, close to the wall and go ahead and cut it. Also, if you're a DIYer, it's not cheap. You know, it's around $100, give or take some. Plus, you have to have an impact wrench. Plus, you have to have batteries. So by the time you add all that together, this is definitely a more popular tool that a lot of people will have. Or they'll use a hacksaw, cut it, and then take a utility knife and clean off the burrs and ream it out and chamfer it a little bit. But if you want to make nice clean cuts and you're a DIYer and you're very particular about how you do your work, you want to make it look good and professional, hey, you know, I say go for it. It's a nice tool. I've had this one for probably, I'd say close to a year. I've cut a lot of pipe with it, and I've never had a problem with it. And I've heard some people say that the blades, that you can't get a replacement blade for it yet. I've never had the blade crack, never had it break on me, so I've never had to order one. I don't know. Even if you don't do plumbing, if you build things like this, I keep my zip ties inside here. I just put an end cap on here, drill it down there, put it in there, glued it, put it on a piece of 2x6, and then you know, just you can put pencils or whatever you want inside there, and then spray paint it. So for doing things like that, little projects, I've seen people do where they'll put makeup holders for their fishing rods and things like that. So hey, for that, it's great. You can do a lot of cuts with it, make some nice clean square edges on it, and it works good for you. So it could work for the guy who's just not a plumber, doesn't want to do plumbing, but he wants to build things in his, say, his workshop or in his garage or even in the house. Okay, so who should not buy this tool? I know on the box it says it's for PVC pipe or PEX. So if you're just cutting PEX pipe and you don't have any thick drain pipe or anything to cut, I think this tool would be ridiculous to buy for that. This is all you need to cut PEX with. I just buy one of these little tools. I think I got this up at Lowe's or something. Put it inside there. I mean, it's not hard to cut. It's very simple. Cuts nice and straight, nice and square. You don't have a problem with that. And also, what I like about this is that if you have trouble as far as with your hands, you know, a lot of times with these, you're pushing down when you're trying to cut, and you're forcing it down, whereas this, you just holding it up there and the tool is doing all the work, the pressure just pushing it in there, you're just kind of holding it up. It's a lot easier on your wrists if you have any type of arthritis or your fingers or knuckles or whatever, so I think you'll enjoy it for that. Now if you think this tool could be a good use for you, I do have a link in the description for a product. I am an Amazon affiliate. They give me a small commission. If anybody buys that, they press the link and buy it. So either Amazon makes all the profit or they help us because we make these type of channels. Hey, if you want to support the channel, I'd appreciate it. And also in the link below, I've got something that says buy me a coffee where it actually you can give donations to help. These tools, I'm not sponsored by DEWALT. They don't send me the tools. I buy them myself. Use them on a job. I don't do unboxings normally because I want to see how the tool is. A lot of times that first impression, oh, it looks great coming out of the box, but you use it for a while and the thing's a piece of junk. So I do test them out, try them before I would recommend them to anybody. And also don't forget to like. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscription if you're not subscribed to the channel. I appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot. Helps the algorithms with YouTube. And it helps other people in case they're thinking about buying it and they want to know somebody who has used it quite a bit. They can see the channel. Anyway, I appreciate you watching, and you take care, and God bless.